Hey everybody, it's Aldo Gandhi, and I just want to let you know really quickly that our swag shop is reopened. DeepDishTees.com is where you go, and that's tees with T-E-E-S. Clever name, guys. They're the new home of our merchandise. You can get t-shirts, you can get caps, you can get coffee mugs, you can get hoodies, you can get all sorts of good stuff, and you'll help out the bar room with the purchase. So head over to DeepDishTees.com.
Some may find the following disturbing. Discretion is advised.
Here we go, Barflies. I was like, yo, open the door. Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's live. It's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there, which, seem to be dwindling away. A lot of people hanging up their Bears jerseys, and that's just the way it goes, man. You got people every year that, either they're on a, well, I won't say that they're on a streak because, a lot of times the streak goes against us. But, midway through the season, people just start hanging it up. But we're going against the 9-2 Cardinals today, so there's probably going to be a couple more people hanging it up. I mean, it could be an ugly thing. Fields still won't be playing. Dalton will be just leading the pack today, and then we'll go from there and see what we got. Let's kick this thing around the room, introduce the fellas, and get this thing going. Mr. Aaron Current, AC, the bearded Bears fan. What up, man?
What's going on, fellas? Beautiful day down here in Kentucky. I got out and hung my Christmas lights yesterday. So
you liar! They've been up since July.
No, I swear. my HOA ain't cool with all that shit. But it's good to be on here with you fellas. It could be a difficult game, but we're diehards, so we'll watch to the very end and hate each other together. I want to talk to you, Bobby, about, did you see Brian Kelly came down to LSU and all of a sudden he talks like me?
Yeah. I did.
He's here with my family.
Yeah. I did. You get down to the bayou and you have one fucking shrimp bowl and a fucking couple oysters and your ass just changes, I guess. You know what I thought of? I know it's totally fucking not even Bears, but remember that movie? It was like a movie a long time ago where this chick's a killer. I forget, but like the people, you could tell who the killer is because they have the Louisiana accent. I think he's now a murderer. But I'm
made
just
me think
that.
about that episode of The Office where they're doing the Savannah crime thing, and Michael Scott tries to do the Savannah accent. And
the improv,
yeah, man. I mean, good for them though. I think it's with the whole Notre Dame thing and him leaving. Like, this is, and for any of you Notre Dame fans, whatever. If you're not fucking too fucking bad because I'm going to talk about
Hey,
it for a second.
we're
But
playing a 9-2 team today, so we got to come up with topics to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
But anyway, this next year for Notre Dame is the first time they've had a top 5 draft class since like the 80s.
Wow.
And the one thing I was watching said it could really be in forever, but because the way that they used to grade them versus the way they grade it now or whatever. But it's like, if you really want to split the difference and figure it all out, it's like this is the first time that they've had a top 5 draft class since the 80s, and he left.
Like the recruiting class coming in?
Yeah.
Well,
Draft class, recruiting class.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Badge. We haven't brought you in yet. But the thing I wanted to talk about was a lot of people, and Notre Dame and LSU are a lot the same. Players go to those schools because of the name, not because of the coach most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't see them look like when they lost Dan Mullen, a bunch of their recruits decommitted or reopened their recruitment. I don't see that happening at LSU or at Notre Dame, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, whatever, man. Wish the dude the best. I mean, Notre Dame's they've been stuck at that fucking piece for a long time, man. They've been that, they can't win it all. They get destroyed. It's not even like they can get close to it. They just get there and they get fucking destroyed because and who knows, man. Maybe it'll turn something around. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Let's bring Badge in. Mr. Ryan Badgley, Badge of Honor. Badge buddy, what's up, man?
Oh man, I had my company Christmas party last night. Had a great time. I mean, now it's Sunday morning, and I could be sitting here. Actually, I still could be in bed sleeping. I could be, doing any other thing, but I decided to get up today and join my brothers on the Barfly Tailgate show. And guys, the Bulls come into New York.
Yeah.
Take out the Knicks. Take out the Nets. They've won 2 or 3 from the Knicks this season. 2-0 against the Nets. I mean, I could talk Bulls for the next 2 hours. There's still a football team in Chicago.
Well, hopefully they won't be in Chicago long, but I don't know. There's just so much shit that needs to change in that organization and whatever. And for anybody that's in the chat, I can't see any of the comments in the chat. I'm going off my phone today, but whatever. So if I don't answer you or whatever, I actually had somebody message me. I think it was earlier in the season that was like, Bobby, what the fuck, man? I put all these comments. He didn't say nothing back to me. I was asking you a question. Like, dude, my bad. Like, don't fucking hate me. I can't see him right now. But yeah, man, I don't know. The whole, like I said, I think the Bulls coming on, though, the Bulls like being hot is even more of a reason that people pay less attention to the Bears. And they're like, fuck it. I'm not going back to the team until Nagy's gone. I'm not going back to the team until the organization fixes it. I'm not doing this. They're like, fuck them. But you still see packed stands. I mean, you know what I mean? The place is still packed. The fucking sold out. Ticket sales are still fucking crazy prices.
That'll be something to watch today because the weather is supposed to be not so great up there. It's supposed to be rainy. I don't know how cold it's going to be, but a lot of people, they're not going to sit out there, first of all, playing probably the best one of the best teams in the NFL.
Well, they could be the first to 10, right?
Right. And in bad weather, it's just going to.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And that's how it goes. Not almost every year, but like the years where they're shitty towards the end of the season, you just start seeing less and less and whatever. And who knows? I just don't. I mean, I've been to Bears games at the end of the season against the Packers when we have not a fucking chance and the place is still packed.
Well, that's Bears Packers, though.
Yeah, so. Still going. All right, let's kick it over to Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings. KB, what it do, man?
I'm tired. I'm tired, man.
So I need to take a nap now.
I'm taking a nap before this. But man, it's a cold, rainy day out here. Giving y'all the weather like AC from Indiana. It sucks ass, man. It's cold. It's rainy. I didn't even think we was gonna talk football today. I was happy that the one football team in my life that's not letting me down is Michigan. So Hey, I didn't even know we was talking Bears today.
Well,
Well, yeah,
speaking of our
go ahead.
college teams, since I didn't get to talk about it last Sunday, my Kentucky
Oh shit.
Wildcats traveled west to that Cardinal Stadium and beat the dog shit out of the Louisville Cardinals. So it's L's down all day, every day. Will Levis ran for 4 touchdowns on them. And after the game, they talked to Scott Satterfield, the head coach at Louisville, and he was like, "Yeah, we didn't have the running back or the quarterback being able to run scouted." What? When he transferred here from Penn State, they only used him as their running quarterback. He transferred here so we would use him as our regular quarterback.
Yeah.
That's all he did at Penn State. So I don't know what kind of coach they got out there, but
Must be
I
they
hope he
fired
stays
that
there
scout,
forever.
or the scouting department the next day, or probably after the game.
Yeah, I hope they keep all that crew over there
Speaking
forever,
of scouting
though.
departments, do you think that Matt Nagy's still asking the guy, that he would talk about running the ball and stuff, whoever that was? Do you think he's still there, or do you think he's gone?
I don't know if he's there. They ain't listening to his ass.
He's not there to run the I formation though.
Right,
I know.
right.
Yeah,
But we
I'm
do
not
have.
sure exactly.
So we got a little Bears news today. Tevin Jenkins is supposed to be playing, right?
Well, he was pulled off
That's
the
the fucking
IR.
dumbest thing
I
I've ever
don't.
heard.
He
I don't
was.
see him getting in though, unless there's injuries or something.
People are talking about him like he's fucking gonna start today. It's like, wait a minute.
They talking like he's playing.
Yeah,
What
they were saying that he was playing. I don't know if he's starting, but
if he's starting today, I feel bad for Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. You to bring in if this kid starts today and they put him out there at left tackle when he had no training camp, no nothing. And yeah, I know he had surgery a while ago and I'm sure he's been working, but live game reps are different than practice. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. They're different.
And Jason
so
Peters
if they put
has
this
held
kid
his
out
own
there,
over there.
they're asking for him to be for Andy Dalton to be killed so Nick Foles can play.
Right.
At this point, I don't give a damn. I don't care.
I
mean,
Bruce Irvin was moved up from the practice squad yesterday, and
Rodney Adams.
Yeah, Rodney Adams is actually going to be playing today too. So, I mean, we'll see how all that goes. But honestly, I think this is just Nagy being like, fuck you to the organization. Like, where they said that McCaskey had to tell him to play Fields and he wasn't coming off of the Dalton thing unless Dalton was hurt. And Fields wasn't going to get to start. He was going to slow roll and build. And he took some L's. And who knows what the handshakes were or what the high fives were at the beginning of the season. I'm sure all this was probably laid out and spoken about. And then we all knew once the Fields hype got real, once it kind of took off, it would be like, whatever, just put the kid in and fuck it, let's roll. I honestly didn't think he would be in yet. I didn't think that they'd have him in. I thought it would be more of a damn stubborn ass fucking organization, and he would have been sitting till, whatever, well to the midseason. I guess it took an injury for him to come in. And I don't think Nagy wants him in. I really don't. I think he wants. Go ahead.
Speaking on that, I was listening to Waddle and Sylvia earlier this week, and they had Jay Cutler on, and Jay basically said that he would shut Justin Fields down for the rest of the season, regardless of health status. And his reason being was he going to come in and learn this system that's probably not going to be here next year.
Remember, that's what I said last week, that Dustin should even come back.
I thought that could be a good topic we could discuss.
Yeah.
What are your guys' To me, I'd still like to see him getting live game reps, because just like Badge was saying, live game reps are different than practice reps. And if they'd have handled this situation the correct way and named Fields the starter, or even had an open competition as soon as the season started, then he probably would have been better prepared for coming in, in Cleveland or whenever they decided to start him, but they just threw him out there.
Yeah, I think this all comes back to the intelligence of the coach. I think Nagy felt like Fields couldn't be ready for the first game because Nagy knew that there's no way he himself would be ready for the first game if he was in that position. He grades these quarterbacks compared to where he sat or where he was because he was a fucking quarterback. And he kind of does him a disservice by doing that because these fucking dudes are smarter than him. The game's evolved. The game's bigger than Canadian football fucking Matt Nagy. And, like, I think he kind of cripples them in his own right because he feels like, you know, like, oh, if I wouldn't have been able to process this. And we heard this shit with Mitch, too. Well, he's at 1.0. He's at 1. Motherfucker, why? Give him fucking the whole binder right now. Here you go. And this is how I want you to learn it. I want you to fucking learn it by this, you know, whatever. As you flip through, it'll be in progression to how I want you to learn it. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what you can handle. Here we go. Fucking and take the step and go. But I think Nagy's so caught up in his own shit that he compares these kids to him. And then he feels like, oh, well, he's not ready. He's not ready. He's only on fucking level 2 and he needs to be at 10. And get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah. If he's not ready, then damn, when you write this bitch's contract, okay, let me talk to you here. The first year we're only gonna give you a $1 million because I don't think you're gonna be ready yet. Now let me know if the player says he's ready. You go fuck yourself. Like, nope, you pay me the whole fucking thing up front and I'll decide whether I'm ready or not. But if that was really something actual, then the contract should be negotiated that way.
Think about it this way. Think about it this way, right? So Matt Nagy, when he first got here, said his offense took 3 years to learn.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, how could we have sat here in, April when he's drafted and think, yeah, this kid's got to start, and not even thinking of Matt Nagy saying that. You know what I mean? This is our franchise quarterback. I don't want him around any of these fucking morons anymore. I don't care if he doesn't come to the facility. If I'm George McCann, you know what, Justin? Enjoy the rest of this season. We're paid without just work on your own, and fucking we'll worry about it when we get a new coach and a new GM. Because these fucking dipshits, look at the wide receiver group. Matt Nagy fucking in his press conference, the depth on this roster, boy, really showing here. Because Demir Bird had 4 catches for 40 yards? Fuck you. Yeah. If you were a real fucking coach, you'd have these guys in the second depth here actually contributing to this team. Yet, you can't even get Allen Robinson involved in the offense. Your number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
I don't even want to fucking play the games. Because we're going to go out today. Well, if we don't lose by 40, I will be shocked.
I think they got the spread at 7. I think the spread is 7. I honestly think the spread is 7.
So Badge has easy money today, huh?
Yeah. Just letting you know, man. It's there. I'm pretty positive the spread is still 7, which is crazy. I think it's fucking crazy. But I think it's also because Murray was questionable, right?
Murray's not playing and D-Hop still not playing.
Yeah.
Man, they're playing.
So, I think they're both I think they're both game time decisions right now.
Yeah, they're game time decisions. That's what they said yesterday.
I saw on the sleeper app this morning it said Kyler Murray expected to play against Bears. I didn't see anything about D-Hop, so I don't know what his thing is.
We lost to Tyler Huntley in a team that had no starting receivers or running backs, bro. We're not winning. we're not winning.
And I mean, even if D-Hop can't go, they got Christian Kirk. They still got AJ Green, who has hit a freaking renaissance over there. He was dead and gone in Cincinnati. Then he went to Arizona, and they was like, "Yeah, we can use you." And then they got.
He wasn't dead and gone. He was pulling. He's just smart. He said, "I'm gonna act like I'm hurt for my 3."
He's Allen Robinson. He's Allen Robinson.
That's what he's doing. He's like, I'm going to wait till I go to a real team with a quarterback there to give me the ball. That's what happened.
Look I'm slowly starting to transform you guys. Fucking KB is like, fuck this, I'm done.
I'm checked out, bro. I'm checked out. Listen,
mean,
to
honestly,
me, this game is a scouting report on Christian Kirk. That's what this is.
Yeah.
honestly, to me, the season when that Ravens game happened, like I was pretty much checked out after Tampa because the way they beat the hell out of us. But a lot of that was turnovers. You know, we turned the ball over like 5 times and gave them short fields. But against the Ravens, you're going against Tyler Huntley, who's never started a single game, and your defense lets him roll right down the field to win the ball game. Like, it's unacceptable. Like, even the Pittsburgh game, I was like, well, the refs fucked us. Big Ben, is as bad as he is, as old as he is, he can still, get some things done, whatever. So I was able to write that one off in my head, talk myself into it. But the Ravens game was just unacceptable. And
get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit. So it's together. And if you got to take it somewhere, take it somewhere, Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just got to get it together. Get your shit together.
And that's the NFL season.
That was a perfect time.
Oh, definitely was.
Yeah,
that's the story of the season. That's been the story of the season for 2 years. Get your shit and get the fuck on.
What do y'all think about us still being in the hunt, though?
That's fucking ridiculous.
How bad the NFC is. That's all that is. Everybody's fucking 4-7 right now. Like, bro, what the hell? Somebody win a game.
Right. It's because we've got the Cardinals in the NFC, and then we got the Packers in our division. We got 2 games against the Vikings in our divisions. That's the only reason why we're on the thing for in the hunt or right underneath in the hunt. But this team, man, I mean, I guess credit to them for not completely quitting on Nagy yet. The writing's on the wall, and some of these players are coming out and saying, Nagy, that's our guy. But
they were saying goodbye to him. Remember?
Some of them, reports came out that some of them did.
Yeah, after the report or the false report came out that that Thanksgiving was going to be his last game and whatever, all that shit. There was other reports coming out that players went up to Nagy before the game and that week, after it came out, and they're like, "Hey, coach, just want to tell you it's been great working with you. Fucking I wish you the best in the future." And he's like, "What
the fuck you talking about?"
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, well, sorry, maybe you didn't see the report, but
But you just showing up to work and some of your buddies did that, like, "Hey, bro, it's been great working with you. Sorry it ended like this." Like, what the fuck you talking about, bro? If I knew y'all was firing me, I'd have stayed in bed. Fuck.
Don't let me come in and do the work, goddamn. Fuck y'all. I hate that. I'd have had that happen to me.
That's where you know that the Nagy presser before Thanksgiving, the one I think it was Wednesday night, where he's like, "Well, I had no clue about any of this. You're full of shit. You're a fucking liar."
Yeah.
But then these reports come out that Monday and Tuesday, and when this thing was breaking open, that players were coming up to him and saying that shit that I just said. It's been great working with you. But then he turns around on Wednesday night and says, "Oh, I had no clue about any of this. And I didn't hear them chanting fire Nagy at my son's game. And I didn't hear this. And I didn't see the Bulls game." You're full of fucking shit. Take it on the chin. Take it on the chin and be like, that shit sucks, man. I was standing there and A-Rob came up to me and he was like, "Yo, coach, I heard you're getting fired." I'm like, the fuck? Go ahead. What did he say?
He said the Bears can't even sack a coach right.
That's right.
But
speaking of sacks, though, Robert Quinn, man, NFC Player of the Month. Yeah,
he could break the sack record this year.
Go, Robert.
I don't know
Quinn.
if he's going to do all that.
He needs, 6 more?
Number 94.
I thought it was like 10 more. Is it only 6?
I don't know.
We ain't got a lot of sacks, bro.
Quinn's got a lot. Quinn's got a lot of sacks. Quinn's really looking at breaking Richard Dent's fucking single season sack record. The only problem,
he got like 11 and a half or some shit, don't he?
Yeah, well, the only problem is going to be there's going to be an asterisk on it because if he doesn't get it before the fucking second to last game, then there's an extra game. There's an extra game this season. So
There won't be an asterisk.
Fuck that! I'm putting an asterisk on it. Fuck you.
You
he
go
got
ahead,
an extra game.
You go right ahead. when those passing records, all those passing records started getting broke when we added extra games, they still don't have no asterisk next to them.
Yo, in my book they do. AC.
Well, I'd like to see that. I'd like to
Okay,
see that
Don.
book,
Hell
Bobby.
yeah,
You can't.
Well, I mean,
you'll never see that book. You know why? It's in the Library of Congress, hidden.
But I mean,
one of my Army buddies, he's from Arizona. He's a big Cardinals fan.
Yeah.
He just texted me, said, "Good morning, and go fuck yourself today."
Here's a question from Pookie from the chat right here. Check it out, King Pookie. Do you think if the Chicago media never mentioned that to Nagy that there's reports you're being fired, that Nagy would have been fired?
I slightly believe that might be a little
probably.
I think if that shit wouldn't have got out, I think my man would have been gone.
I mean, I think if you have an organization that has never done this and obviously wanted to keep that kind of thing going, and then it gets released, like they were really like on the cusp, like, yeah, fuck it, we're doing it this year, like let's do it. And they're on the cusp, right. And then the whole thing blows up in their face, and then they're like, ha! And they use the fucking "we've never fired a coach mid-season" excuses, like, no, why would we do that? We've never done that. And then they backpedal and say fuck it.
Well,
it's like
Aldo's talked about that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, man, it's like if you never bought a prostitute and you like, I'm really gonna go buy this prostitute, and then all your boys find out that you finna buy the prostitute, you still gonna go buy the prostitute? Or you gonna say, hey, no, man, I ain't never tried to fuck no prostitute. I ain't doing that.
I ain't gotta pay for that. What you talking? I get so much, man. I get so much, man. I can't even tell you all the time that
I ain't gotta do that. I'm trying to do this all this time and everything. But like I said,
hey, we're bringing true life experience to the show every week.
Nothing like it. You're not going to get this anymore.
Well, I was going to say that was an excellent input, KB. But Aldo's talked about that. George Halas was the coach for 50 years. He wasn't going to fire himself. And then after that, it just kind of became a tradition, but this year's different because you can interview head coaches the last 2 weeks of the year. So I think if there's any year for the Bears to break this tradition, it's got to be this year. I thought it was the Trestman year. You get back-to-back 50 burgers, your ass is out the door. And I'm telling you now, we get blown out by the Cardinals, and then next week we got to go up to Lambeau and play Rodgers again. I'm telling you, I don't see it being pretty. I mean, I think old Tabor might be coaching against I think it's the Seahawks after that week.
I mean,
I might have a shot at winning that one.
Do they even turn around now though and do it, or do they?
We got the Seahawks and the Giants both at the end of the season, and 2 games against the Vikings.
He should be fired at least 3 games before the end of the season. Go start interviewing, man.
His offense
Nagy walking out of like Halas.
Well, they can interview.
Ryan Dable walking in, or
they can interview without
Harbaugh
fired,
or somebody.
Though. Yeah.
Oh,
they can
Harbaugh
still interview.
Yeah.
So
man, I trade my left testicle right now for Aiden Hutchinson. Oh, that kid is fucking phenomenal.
Well, we don't have a top 10
Speaking of prostitutes,
that other pass rusher up there in Michigan's good too. Ojabo, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah. Agajabo.
They're both some bad motherfuckers. This is going to be a big defensive draft, I think. I mean, you look at the quarterback position coming out. There's like maybe 2 or 3 guys. Bryce Young looked great yesterday against Georgia. By the way, that game shocked the fuck out of me. I mean, I watched Georgia all year, and I was like, well, if Bama does win, it's going to be a close one. Bama was just like, hold my dick. They just fucked them up, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
I was just like, man, they moving the ball easy as shit. I was like, why?
That's the only time I've seen Georgia's defensive line getting handled like all year. Nobody's done it. Kentucky, we pride ourselves in offensive line, and I know that we don't have the recruits that Alabama has, but I mean, Bama was just manhandling those dudes. Jordan Davis, people talked about him should win the Heisman all year, and now and he just got manhandled by those Alabama dudes. Maybe we can get one of those receivers, man. Mechie, I think I tweeted it yesterday.
Mechie's supposed to be a second rounder, bro.
Right, he's projecting the second round, so
Just
you can
tore
get
his
Mooney and
ACL,
Mechie
though.
next year.
I was gonna say he tore his ACL though.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what the
I knew he got hurt, but I didn't know
Yeah.
it was ACL.
So we'll probably pick him up in the third round.
Yeah, I seen it on the bottom line last night, but hey, whatever. I'll take him in the
Shit, grab
fucking
him
third
in
or
the
fourth
fifth round.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
was
we
asked
got
last
Eddie
night,
Jackson was because he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asked last night about Tariq Cohen, right? And I haven't really seen much on Tariq Cohen, right? Now, Tariq Cohen would have needed to have come off IR this week also in order to have any chance of possibly getting on the field this season. He did not. So you're not going to see Tariq this season, and you've probably seen Tariq's last snap in a Chicago Bear if you were watching that Atlanta game last year, because I just don't. That's money that we need to now spend elsewhere. We've got two backs here, some depth there as well. So
I mean, the backs that we have, though, we don't utilize the way that we utilize Cohen.
we never
Sorry.
have.
Yeah,
we never
but
do.
I mean, I think we're
we can go back to
we're the last place team in the league when it comes to throwing to a running back.
Yep.
Bro, we're the last place team in everything.
Yeah, I mean, probably. But when
But I mean,
comes,
speaking on that, man,
Go
you
ahead.
talk about paying running backs. I think I've listened to a lot of Chicago radio this week. I'll just be honest, but I was listening. I think it was on
Everybody.
Carmen and Yurko. They was talking about the teams that have paid running backs. This was after Ezekiel Elliott didn't do so hot. You know, I think it was Thursday, and they struggled. They paid their running back. Dalvin Cook got paid. He's hurt. Alvin Kamara got paid. He's hurt. Henry got paid. He's on IR. Like the top running backs that have been paid, the only one that's even playing is Joe Mixon. And technically Zeke's playing, but he's playing through injury. So the NFL seems to be leaning or going toward the direction of not paying these running backs. It sucks for the running backs, for the running back position.
I mean, it's always been that way, though. I mean,
well, players have gotten paid. I mean, look how much money Adrian Peterson made in his career.
Yeah, but there was a long time of only like 2 or 3 backs that are getting paid. The rest are on the move. You know what I mean? And there's been the kind of like, well, he's not. We can find anybody to do that. You know, besides the top, 5 or whatever, it's always kind of been like that for running backs, and they just get shit canned and pushed out the door and moved on to the next one.
We got breaking news. Arizona Cardinals head Cliff Kingsbury just officially told me that Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are both playing today versus the Bears at NFL Network.
Did anybody see the game of the Washington Wizards and Memphis Grizzlies?
No.
Was it the Wizards? No, it was the Thunder. I'm sorry.
I saw the score.
Imagine that as a football game. Yeah, imagine that as a football game. That's going to be today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
well, hey guys, it was great fun here.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever, man. Put a bow on that shit. I honestly don't know. I mean, like, I think it's gonna be a blowout. I don't know how the fuck we're in the hunt. I think this wide receiving core of Arizona, they're fucking just foaming.
The Monstars.
They can't wait. They can.
We have one corner.
They cannot wait to fuck up our secondary.
I'm just gonna say a name: Chandler Jones, former Syracuse Orangeman. Andy Dalton. God have mercy on your soul.
You don't think old man Peters is gonna have a shot against him?
I mean, he can have as many shots as he wants. Go for it. Then we'll put Tevin Jenkins in. Let's get him some a top tier pass rusher right out of the fucking gate. That's a fucking
Larry Borum did it.
Larry Borum said I did it twice.
Yeah.
How many
Once again,
passing yards? How many passing yards does Murray get today? 400.
Man, listen.
I'm going to say 355.
Yeah,
4
I'll say probably around
touchdowns
300.
and 1 rushing. So 5
I think he
total.
has over 500 yards today between rushing and passing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty close to
That
like
sounds
4.
about right.
I'm pretty close to like 450.
Perfect statement, Chris Watts.
That's right, Chris.
Hey,
I'll
like
still
I
watch
said
us
earlier-
get fucked though. That's a
like I said earlier, the spread's only 7. So if you're trying to get on the money on the spread, I'd stay away from the money line in Arizona because that's just you're not going to win anything. But the spread's a +7 for the Bears. I'd take the -7 on the damn Cardinals and
Hey,
keep on rolling from there.
Sometimes Vegas gets it wrong, man. They had Louisville as 3-point favorites last week, and we beat
Yeah,
them
of course they do. Yeah,
52-7 or some shit. 52-21 was the final.
yeah. Shit, I would probably take Arizona. Like, I would fucking move the line and take Arizona -14 or something, or at least 9 or 13. And just make more money off of it. Oh man, I mean, it's gonna be ugly no matter what. I think it's gonna be fun.
And we're wearing orange jerseys. We're never good in our orange jerseys.
We're never good in any jersey that has Bears on it.
Oh, we're never good at just our own jerseys. Every other jersey, though, we're fucking woo, man. We're lights
But
out.
I mean, I want to get back to what we were saying about these picks, man, because it kind of puts into perspective the whole. We probably should have sold the farm deal back to the trade deadline. There should have been moves made because we got to retool, man. We have to. I understand you think you might have a chance at competing, but we don't. The team should have been sold off. You should have got rid of A-Rob because you're not gonna pay him. You should have traded. I'm not even gonna say we should have traded Khalil Mack. Listen, that's neither here nor there. But Eddie Jackson, you should have seen what you could have got for him. Check the availability on Tariq. I still believe that you could trade Tariq to Kansas City, and Kansas City will give you a decent pick for him because I feel like he fits really well in what they do. Man, it's pieces that, like I said, I just feel that they should have moved. You should try to get some kind of picks in this draft because, like you said, this draft is heavy on defense. At this point, I would literally trade our entire O line for Michigan's O line. Man, listen, the way those boys run the ball, yeah, give me that any time of the day. But you gotta retool, man, and we just don't have the pieces to do it. We don't.
Yeah.
What people are sitting there talking about saying, oh well, this year we'll lose A-Rob and we'll get a comp pick. No, we're not. I'm just gonna tell you fans this now. The way it has to go, we're not gonna get any comp picks because they're gonna have to. They gotta get players here. You have to go after 2 to 3 weapons on offense right out the gate. You have to try to sign an O lineman. You have to try to sign at least 2 fucking wide receivers. You got to try to bring in another tight end. A-Rob's gone, bro. There is not going to be a comp pick because what you're going to have to bring in.
Well, it depends on what we do. If we try and do it all via free agency, or if we do it,
you have to.
I think you got to get. Well, I think you got to get an offensive lineman in free agency. I know you love Michael Gallup, but the guy has been injured. He has shown flashes when he's on the field, but he's been hurt so much, man. I just would hate to pay him a buttload of money and then he comes out here and sits on the bench for us, man. We've already got that in A-Rob. Yeah. I mean, I would rather, like I said earlier, give me Mechie or Williams if he drops. Hey, he transferred from Ohio State, so he definitely has time with Justin Fields. So so you got to think about that too. If somehow he drops, which I don't know if he will or not, but I
definitely believe my man's gonna drop, especially since he got hurt. But my thing is this: I don't feel like you're gonna pay Gallup a shit ton of money. I don't.
I think Gallup's
gonna be looked at as he's a top. He can ask for it.
If you look at the free agents, there's Devontae Adams, who's probably going to follow Rodgers wherever the fuck he decides to go, hopefully out of Green Bay. You got then you got A-Rob, and then you got is he Gallup?
Go to Detroit.
Hell, I wouldn't even put A-Rob at top right now because after Devontae Adams, you're probably looking at Chris Godwin.
Godwin, I forgot about him.
Which is another
I
one
don't
that
see
people are
him
trying
leaving
to.
Tampa. I don't think they're gonna let him leave Tampa. There ain't no way.
You gotta. It's to me, it's a money thing at this point. That's why I
Yeah.
said Gallup's gone from Dallas. You don't got the money to pay him. That's why I'm saying Christian Kirk gonna be gone from Arizona. You don't got the money to pay him. That's why a lot of these receivers that are
Well,
what
I
I'm saying
mean,
mid-level are
right now you don't have the money to pay him, but the salary cap's going to shoot up again next year because this year was affected from last year's COVID.
Yeah.
sure.
So next year you're going to probably get, I don't know, roughly 20. I mean, if you take away or give back what was taken away and then add like the 10% or whatever that it always goes up, or 6% that it goes up each year, you're looking at an additional, what, 25, 30 million?
Right. Well,
So
that's another thing that Ryan Pace is fucked up, man. Look at how everybody else does it. While your quarterback's on the rookie contract, that's when you've got to surround
You gotta
him
load
with
up.
weapons. You've got to do it. And we went and paid an aging quarterback $10 million. That's $10 million you can give to a receiver, or $10 million you could give to a DB or something. But you paid it for a backup quarterback. You've got to put weapons around your guy, and you pay Jimmy Graham whatever the fuck you paid him to catch a touchdown this year. Maybe has he caught a touchdown this year? I don't even fucking know anymore.
yeah, he's got one.
Yeah,
I think
he did. He should
he
have
got it
too.
last week.
You look
Yeah.
at but you look at some of these players. I mean, A-Rob's a weapon. Montgomery's a weapon. Herbert's a weapon. Mooney's a weapon. Cole Kmet's a weapon. They're fucking not used to their potential.
That's
I
true.
mean, it's
the scheme is terrible.
It's the off. I mean, fucking running 6-yard curls and hitches and that. I mean,
Every time, bro.
He got away with shit
fuck.
He got away with shit in 2018, and the defensive coordinators was like, "Let's watch the tape," and then he ain't done shit since. And he does not adjust his system or anything. It's like, this is my system. This is what we're running. I don't care. I wasn't brought here to run the I formation, which is why we need to. I don't even know why he's still here. You had a bye week and a mini bye week. You could have got his ass out of town and brought somebody else in here that had a long week to get these players prepared to play under them. And those players looked like they played harder the 1 week that Tabor coached.
Yeah.
They was fired up.
Let me ask you guys this, right? So you, at this point, right? We saw Clovers. I posted a message from Clovers. He's talking about anybody but Roquan, right? So let's take a look at that quickly, right? So you got Roquan, who he needs to be re-signed, right? To me, he's going nowhere. Now you also have to worry about Bilal Nichols. You have to worry about James Daniels. And then you still have now other pieces on your roster that you need to fill. Your entire secondary, with the exception of Jalen Johnson, can be replaced. Now you don't have Danny Trevathan anymore. He's gone. I mean, he's not really healthy and really hasn't been. Christian Jones is still there, but I feel like now you need to look at maybe adding, Ogletree back or something.
Is he only on a 1-year deal?
I think so. Yeah.
Alec, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, where is all this money coming from when we're already in cap hell? Yes, there's money coming off the books.
Hicks will be gone.
The motherfuckers who shit coming off the books.
I mean, Hicks will be gone. You won't be paying Leno anymore. You won't be paying Graham anymore. Or Graham will be gone.
No, they pushed Graham's shit back this year when they restructured.
I don't think so. I think all they did was change it to signing bonus. I don't think they added extra years to his pay. I'd have to look. You might be right. I don't think they added extra years. I thought they did it in re-signing to where it was all this year.
Yeah.
Bear Truth 9 just said we're projected to have 50 million. Projected. I don't know where that projection's from, but
I think once you
talk about those top tier wide receivers or something, they're going to ask for 20 of that. I mean, that's what A-Rob wants, and you're not going to pay him that, especially after this season. But
listen, ain't no way in hell I'm paying anybody $20 million this year. Like I said, you need to go after these mid-level players, and you need to offer them around 7 to 8 mil and see if you can at least get 2 of them. That's how I look at it. But
I think we need to, like Badge was saying, you got to re-sign Roquan. I don't know what that's going to cost, but you pay him whatever the fuck it takes because
look at Darius Leonard's deal. There you go. Whatever Darius Leonard got paid, add more money to that, and that's what both want to
Exactly.
get.
Yep.
You gotta re-sign. I'd be okay with re-signing James Daniels. Hopefully, you might even be able to get him for less than if he would have played a lot better. If he would have played to his, because of injuries and all that type of stuff, you might be able to get him for a decent price. I think you got to go get a center. You've got to do that in free agency. I don't know who's coming up, but the only center I know of coming out in the draft is from Iowa, and he'll probably be gone in the first round.
Notre Dame's, and then damn, who's the other kid? This dude's supposed to be projected to be a third or fourth rounder. I can't remember who he is though. I can't remember what school. They talked about him yesterday.
Yeah,
but the Notre Dame kid is definitely within reach.
Yeah, and then like Badge was talking about, we need another linebacker to put next to Roquan.
Absolutely.
Alex, if he's on a 1-year deal or whatever, I know Trevathan, he's done. Hopefully he just retires. I'm sorry, Danny, you're done, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so I don't know whether that's a draft pick or I don't know who's free agents. I mean, most of the time, middle linebackers, once they hit free agency, they only hit in free agency because they ain't cut it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Now, Danny, when he hit free agency, it was a different story. They didn't have the money to pay him because they just paid, I think, Von Miller a ton of money and all that kind of stuff they had going on in Denver. But most of those guys that hit free agency is not good.
Yeah,
I mean,
didn't even think about the center position, AC. When you said it, I was like, man, wow. I'm sorry, Bobby. Go ahead, man.
No, I think there's going to be a lot that clears up, a lot that kind of comes into play, and I think some of these pieces can be moved for picks or players, and who knows, man. I think it's just going to be. I mean, Sanders right here, trade Quinn for a draft pick. I mean. Who knows, man?
The way he's playing, man, he's worth more on your roster than he is on someone else's.
Maybe not.
Unless you can get a first-round pick.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening.
It depends what somebody comes knocking with. And who knows?
You're not getting a first-round pick for a 35-year-old pass rusher.
No,
it's not going to happen. Von Miller got a 2 and a 3. You're not going to get that for Robert.
I mean, but if you can get 2 2s, do you move him?
Maybe
you get 2 2s and you lose the contract.
Because then you'd have 3 2s. Maybe you can move up into the first.
Yeah, maybe you can package. I mean, and you get rid of that fucking contract. I don't think there's any way you're getting fucking 2 2s either. But I'm just saying, man, it's just everything's a matter of
I was gonna say if you can get a 2 and a 3 for Robert Quinn, you like the same deal. Just going off of that because I'm gonna go look at production.
I'm sorry, Jay. I said he was 3 years older than he is.
If you can get a 2 and a 3, be honest, I wouldn't even try to trade up. I just stay where the fuck I'm at. This draft is full of depth. Just add pieces, man. We got to stop trading up now. At this point, it's trade the fuck back and get pieces.
Well, if you need,
let's not pretend
pass rusher though, KB. Let's look at the draft. I mean, I've already looked at mock drafts. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm a freaking draft nut. I feel like Berlissimo. You got number 1 overall pick, Oregon Thibodeau. There's your guy. You got Aiden Hutchinson going in the top 5. You got Oshabo going in the top 10. You got a dude from Purdue that's probably going to go in the top 10. I don't know what pass rusher you're going to get in the second round, to be completely honest with you. There's your top 4 off in the top 10, 15 picks.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. We're not going to develop anybody anyway. So,
bingo.
You know what I mean? Like,
we don't know about the new coaching staff. Damn it! All right.
I mean, the only thing we develop is fucking headaches in the loss column. Like that's about all that we're. I mean, who fucking knows? So the Bears get Cardinals and the Packers. Ouch. Yeah. I mean, anybody you see on our schedule this year, it's fucking ouch.
Do we got that schedule badge? Can we pull that up? Do you got that? I know Aldo has it. The spaceship schedule.
I must have threw it out.
Let me text Aldo. Tell him I need a new producer. This is some bullshit. The AC show in this motherfucker. When I say something, you're supposed to do.
Dude, it would probably take me 20 minutes to find it, save it, and then figure out how to get it in here.
Hey, my boy Bash said, listen, I got to go through all this important documentation I was looking at. I was on Pornhub before we started. I got to exit out of that. I'm looking up how to get this gun license again, and I got other stuff going
Hey, it's
on.
tough in New York, man. I bet you on that.
Oh, dude, it's getting rougher by the day.
I don't know,
Kentucky,
man.
they're like, you old enough to drive? Here's your handgun.
Man,
Happy second birthday.
right. You want the sniper rifle? I can hit somebody from 500 yards with this. You
For
can
your
take it.
for your second birthday, we're going to celebrate the Second Amendment. Here you go.
Look at little Jedediah out there shooting at the cats. Ain't he so cute?
Jesus.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
okay.
After I beat you and satisfy all the Hulkamaniacs, I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
Here we go.
Perfect time for that one too.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody have like the Bears within 20 today?
Nope.
No.
Listen, I had us within 14 when it was Colt McCoy and no D.I.
I have
was
it
like,
within 20
maybe we'll
yards
be
of
close.
rushing yardage, like for a
Colt
total.
McCoy was coming out there, Texas gunslinger. Right? The 3 weeks he was in there, but they still won 2 out of 3. Imagine, just imagine it. I can't imagine. We ain't got shit like that.
Since we don't have a head coach that has a fork like any kind of offensive prowess. That's why that is.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's just going to be like terrible and whatever. I'm kind of glad Fields ain't playing. I think that
I was shocked they got that game on locally here.
Do they?
No kidding.
Yeah, I got Bears Cardinals playing here in Kentucky. I was like, wow. I told my wife I thought we were gonna have to go to B-Dubs. Then I checked the guide yesterday and it said Bears Cardinals. I was like,
yeah, whoever the NFL producer is, he took the week off, and the MLB producer is holding in for him. And he's like, "Oh, damn, St. Louis playing today. Let's put this on down here."
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a shit show. I think the rest of the season is pretty much going to be a shit show.
Well, our only hope is to get enough shit shows in to get fired.
Yeah.
You look at they can't score more than 16 points.
I know.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
against the Lions.
And you look at the teams that play us, they play down to our level. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the Bucks blew us out, but like the Steelers game, we're in that game. Justin plays well, defense plays well. We're in that game. Teams play down to us. You watch any other game on any other Sunday, and there's teams that just look lights out. You know what I mean? And then teams have a bump in the road, but we fucking can't ever string any fucking thing together ever at all.
The Bengals beat the Steelers last week 41-10, and that's the team that we beat. So. Like how?
Dude, if I was Arizona, I wouldn't even have Murray playing today. I'd have him on like NBA minutes. I'd be like, "Yo, dude, look, we're gonna put you in for the first, and then I'll probably sit you in the second, and I'm pretty sure we'll still be beating them. So you might just sit the third too. I'm not trying to rush you into getting hurt again against a scrub ass fucking team that we know Colt can deal with, and Colt's over there like, yeah, let me get him. Like, fuck this. It's gonna be fucking a shit show. And now that we say that, it's probably gonna be like some miraculous fucking shit.
Right. This is the game we put up like 50 points.
Yeah.
It's bear weather.
Yeah.
God.
We get off the bus running the football.
Yeah.
We should. We fucking should. We got 2 great running backs.
Yeah.
He said, do you think we'll win another game this season? I think maybe we take one against the Vikings and we probably lose everything else.
We got Seattle and Giants.
You know what?
We got Seattle and New York. Both teams are garbage.
Yeah. I was gonna say Mike Glennon is going against one of the teams, so the defense is coming to play against him for whatever fucking reason.
Well, Mike Glennon could be the starter. I believe he's in New
Today he
York
is,
with
yeah.
the
Yeah,
Giants.
that's what I'm saying.
And Daniel
He's one of the
Jones is
quarterbacks.
out this week.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
So
give us the
Mike Glennon, I
Giants.
think, will be the starter. So, yeah, I'm still gonna take the Giants in that one. That's a Mike Glennon
Me
revenge
too.
game.
Oh God, no.
Mike Glennon will look like fucking, the
Peyton Manning.
next fucking Patrick Mahomes, throwing sidearm between his legs, shooting it out of his ass, and they'll fucking win by 30.
Shooting it out
Between
of
his
the
legs, he said.
I'm
Y'all
weak
remember we
right
used
now.
to play?
Shoot that
Did y'all used
pass.
to play NFL Street where you could do that type of
Yes.
shit?
Yeah.
Throw it off the wall.
Oh man.
Oh, I
Picture of
tweeted
Mike
it out,
Glennon with
right?
his long ass neck doing that.
I've called myself a diehard Bears fan. Like, it was in my Twitter bio and whatever.
Well,
And
now
like,
you died easy.
I fucking can't with this team. I'm so tired of it. We every year, like, your hopes are up. You're like, oh my gosh, we did this. Oh, we improved here. Wow, I think this could be something good. And then boom, you fucking suck. And then there's 1 year for this team. It was 2018, and I know people don't want to hear about it. I'm fucking sick of talking about it because it was an abomination. Won't happen for the next 5 fucking years again. So now we'll go get a new coach, and like, maybe his first couple years he won't be good, but then we'll have a good year, and then we'll suck again. And I'm fucking
We
tired
suck
of it.
again.
Yeah, like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, I know. It's getting there, man. It's getting to the point where you're just like, what the fuck? Like, how do you continue to support a team that's just that year after year after year? And how do we bring our kids into this? You know what I mean? Like,
My kid don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I told him, like, he'll go watch the ball games or whatever. Like, it's just on. It's like background noise to him. And he'll be like, "The Bears win?" I'll be like, "Nope." He's like, "Oh,
Like,
that
I have
sucks."
plans today. I'm not fucking. I used to like it. I would always say Sundays don't bother me on Sundays. Fuck that. I don't.
Yeah,
care
give me a reason.
Yeah. Like, I don't. Nothing's gonna stop me from doing what like, I've given up so much over the course of my life watching this fucking organization constantly shit down their leg. I'm not doing it anymore. I wasn't joking. I when I said I won't buy Bears, I won't. I won't. I mean, I see new stuff coming out. I don't give a shit. I will not spend a dime on this fucking organization until something changes. And who knows? I mean, I just could lose complete interest. I mean, I'm already to the point where I don't care if I watch the games. I was telling AC when we first got on, I didn't watch the whole first half. And you know what? I didn't go back and watch it later because I don't give a fuck right now. I
haven't gone back and watched a single game this season.
Me neither.
I'm just kind of like, normally, like, prior seasons, I'd watch them, then I'd go back to the All-22 and watch, or I'd watch some shit. I don't even fucking care that much. It's a waste of fucking time to go back and do that shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I used to do it. I mean, I would do it prior to this season. I mean, I would watch the game Sunday, and then boom, as soon as it came out, I'm going back and watching it. You know, and like at week 1, we fucking got blown out. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go watch it, and I haven't gone back and watched to look at the. I don't know. Let's go Bulls. So we can talk about that. No, I'm kidding.
No, I mean, fuck, man. There comes a point you got to do something. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it, and I know everybody in the chat has the same mentality where, like, you're diehard Bears fans. You always want to see them win, no matter what. And I mean, it's been a long time since we've had the discussion of, like, what's your end? I think it was the John Fox era when we're like, when do you just shut it off? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think that's where everybody's kind of at. I think people are still going to watch, but I don't think people are, like, sitting on the edge of their seat with it, like, what can we do? Or I think the fucking curtain's open, man, and you kind of see him backstage and you're like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, this shit is just getting horrible. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's That's how it's going to be for the rest of this season, unless there's some sort of firing and whatever that brings a little excitement and future. Not probably won't bring wins, but might bring some excitement and future, and people kind of get back into watching a little
How
bit.
about some consistency on offense? I mean,
Yeah.
that would draw me in. I mean, that something as simple as that, putting multiple drives together on, and I'm talking back-to-back drives, not, hey, we started the game with a 11 play 74-yard drive and got a whatever field goal, and then in the third quarter we had another 10 play, I mean, good teams do that in the NFL. And this team can't get out of its own way, whether it's penalties, whether it's, you're still hearing, the media asking players about, how it is catching the ball from Andy Dalton to Justin Fields. I mean, what the fuck? These guys are professional fucking athletes. It don't
That's not
matter
even the
who's
best
throwing
part.
the ball, and you're
That's
wasting these guys' times asking them dumbass questions like that.
what did you eat for dinner last night?
Yeah.
Huh?
So how did you
What's your
sleep
favorite
in your
restaurant?
sleep number bed? Brought to you
God,
by Chicago Sun-Times.
dumbass
Well, I told
question,
you
bro.
guys I've went to if I don't get it here at home, I usually go to a bar and grill and watch. And it's kind of on, and it's got all other games on around it as well. And I just feel like almost every other team in the NFL, when I watch them play, they look so much more smooth, more disciplined. They just move the ball well, and that comes back to coaching. And I know you're fed up, Badge. We're all fed up. We're all pissed off Bears fans. There's no other way to put it. I'm going to continue to watch my team. I'm not going to not watch. But we have to have optimism for the future. Otherwise, what else do we have?
I got
As a
optimism
Kentucky
after this coaching.
fan, I watched Joker Phillips take over a situation from Rich Brooks, who Rich Brooks took us to like 3 Music City Bowls, and we thought that was the pinnacle of Kentucky football. We thought that was as good as it was going to get. Rich Brooks leaves. Joker Phillips, his offensive coordinator, takes over. He comes in, runs it into the ground. There was 40 people in the stands watching us get our asses kicked by Vanderbilt.
Yep.
That was the last straw. We got rid of Joker Phillips, brought in a guy named Mark Stoops, and all is well. Mark Stoops is 2 wins away from Bear Bryant's record here at Kentucky. So you've got to have optimism for the future. You talk about what do we have, what the fuck do we got going on as Bears fans? That's what you've got. You look at this young talent we've got. We got 2 young tackles we've just drafted. You got 2 guards that are not that old. We probably need another center. You got Darnell Mooney. All of a sudden, I know Aldo thinks otherwise. I think Darnell Mooney can step into that number 1 wide receiver role.
I don't.
I will say it right now. He has played the last
He's
2 weeks. He's played the last 2 weeks without Allen Robinson, and all he's done is put up back-to-back 100-yard games with Andy Dalton throwing him the fucking ball in this shitty-ass scheme.
Consistent. He's dropping the football. This is a guy who last year we were talking about how he's in the hallway of a hotel with a jugs machine catching balls.
Yeah.
This year he's fucking put the ball down on the ground more than we've seen him. So he's not consistent enough for me. I mean, you have people saying A-Rob's not a number 1. How is Mooney then? You know what I mean? I don't see it that way. I really don't. I mean, I don't know if it's he's fed up with being here and whatever, but to me, these guys aren't putting in the work. They're not. The undisciplinedness of this team. I mean, the penalties, it's everyone. It's not just specific players, it's everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Mooney can become a number 1. I mean, he's not
good, but he's not there yet. He probably will be the force-fed number 1 next year.
Yeah.
Hey man, hold on. Fuck the bullshit. This damn curtain been blowing this whole time behind me. Ain't nobody told me.
I ain't seen it.
Hey, bro, I just seen this motherfucker move.
Man.
I almost had a panic attack. You hear me?
This is the AC show, man. When I'm on
on
here, even when you got the 4 up here, I'm just looking at myself. I don't even know what you're talking about. So I don't know what's going on behind you.
I'm sitting there looking. I said, "What the fuck is moving behind?"
I saw you kept looking.
I was gonna be gone, bro. I'm checking out.
Bear, I'm just saying,
Oh,
I think he has the potential, but he's not there yet. He's not.
That's
I'm
why I say he
sorry.
will be. He
Yeah,
can be the
yeah.
number one.
Yeah, he
And then you
absolutely
draft a guy.
can be. He
Yeah.
absolutely, but he ain't it yet.
Yeah.
But the defense is where we need turnover. You got Roquan, you got Jalen. If you want to, I mean, we paid him, Eddie Jackson. You got to run him at free safety. And you got to try to find a strong safety to pair with him. That's the only thing there is. I mean, other than that, you need in your corner. Your pass rushers are aging. That's going to fucking cost you. You know, your
Fuck
D-line,
him.
they're
His
getting –
feelings are all hurt because the fans are booing. Oh, I'm
man,
sorry,
he was
you're
like
paying
that.
to play a game.
Right. He's been like that. He never dealt with that at Alabama, I guess, or he probably came from a winning high school
'cause
before he
they
went to
win.
Alabama. Right. So this is completely different for him. And I mean, I'm sorry, buddy, but when you suck, this is how fans let you know we are not happy with what's going on. There's no other way we can do it.
Yeah.
If you've bought season tickets, I'd love to talk to Mike Schaefer. If you've bought season tickets, you're not going to not fucking go because of the amount of money you've invested.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are pissed off though too, because if the team moves to Arlington, their tickets are not transferring supposedly.
Wow.
So only like the PSL and all that, it's still up in the air whether or not these tickets are transferring. You see some of these guys are selling their tickets now, trying to get rid of them now before the fucking move happens, because it's possible that none of these tickets transfer, or they get their first pick at tickets over there, but they're not sure how it's all going to work yet. And the questions have been asked, and they're told basically like it's still all got to be figured out. So some of these dudes don't trust the organization and what they're going to do with their longtime ticket holders and these people who have seats. And I don't know if you guys seen, but in some of these Bears groups on Facebook and that, dudes are selling their tickets. Like tickets are up for sale, season tickets that people have had for 20 fucking years, because they're like, I'd rather just wait and get in, when these ones go on sale.
See, I would think they would at least give current season ticket holders the first shot to get if they move the first shot. And to be honest, I mean, that's really what should happen is they should be given first shot.
I asked that question to a bunch of people that I know that have season tickets and they're season ticket holders, and they all came back with, we haven't heard anything yet. We were told.
Kidding.
Yeah. And I mean,
well, if you're gonna technically they don't have a stadium up there yet, so they're not gonna. I don't know how they can plan for it if they don't even have the stadium or know how many seats, or I don't know what all plans they have yet.
Right.
I know they should do.
Jeff Bezos is gonna buy the Bears. He's gonna make a stadium that floats in the sky. And
they ain't selling the Bears till Virginia croaks.
Hey,
sorry to say it bluntly honest.
Hey, to be bluntly honest, she might not see the new stadium.
Probably won't.
I don't fucking know. It's kind of shitty to say, but hey.
She's like,
yo,
what,
let me.
98,
I'm gonna run these commercials real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more.
Look, I don't mean any disrespect. He just didn't play that well, not for a guy of his caliber.
If they don't run the ball here, I'm going to vomit. I swear to God.
I don't really have any recollection of that at all, but I guess perhaps I blacked it all out.
They won, but I'm going to be miserable all week because they stunk.
The Barroom Network presents two fired-up Bears fans. They are ready to rumble on the Bear Debate.
And we're back now, and this is the Barfly Tailgate Show. I'm your host, Ryan Badgley, along with Aaron Curran and Ryan Kirkland Billings, and welcome back, everyone. The top story here at the 10:10 moment of Sunday, December 5th, 2021, is the Bears still suck. Aaron, over to you.
Was that voice?
Oh shit.
Yeah, me and Robbie were got agreed on Twitter here the other day. They called up Rodney Adams. Where's Snowden? Let's see what the
Yeah.
kid's got. I mean, he's healthy. He's practiced. Let's get him on the field. See what he's got.
Well, they called up Bruce Irvin instead, so I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they must be seeing something on the practice field that Snowden's just not ready yet. I know Greg Gabriel. I think it was this week's show when he was talking with Aldo because someone asked about Snowden. He basically was like, the kid has good promise, but he kind of needs to hit the weight room. So maybe that's what it is. They just let him redshirt this year, for lack of a better term, and hit the weights and come out next year and see what he's got then. I mean, I love the kid. He looked good in preseason, but again, a lot of those people that he's playing in preseason are either not on rosters or are backups. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I like Snowden. He looked good at Virginia, but yeah, maybe
So then,
hit the weights this year. And
I like this question here. Sean Payton leaving the Saints? Do you think it's a possibility? And if so, I mean, is this the guy you want to bring in with his connection to Pace? Or so does that mean it's Pace that's here? I don't think Pace is going anywhere. KB, what do you think, dude?
So I've been following this story kind of lightly, man, because to me it's still the fact that he signed an extension, and I you might possibly be looking at another John Gruden situation where you have to trade a pick to get him, uh, and there's just no end to him. If they work something out where him and the Saints decided to part on good terms, and then Sean Payton was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go up to Chicago," I'm all for it. Sean Payton's a hell of a coach. He has a system. There's no bullshit. There's no cap to that. He knows his system. He knows what works. He would probably vault us into the top 15 the next year with the pieces that we got. Uh, do I see the shit happening? No, I don't. You signed the contract. I don't know how that shit's gonna work. I don't. I would
So
love to see
I
it.
gotta tell you this, KB. So I was talking with some Steelers fans last night, and I brought up your Mike Tomlin scenario to them. And one answer was, "Oh yeah, he's gone. No matter what, he's gone." And I was like, "Send him right to Chicago, please," because I mean, that's a guy I would get behind. I would run out into traffic for that dude. Like,
To me,
I'm
if you
all
had to
about
pick
it.
between him and Peyton, you love the offensive style of Peyton. His mind.
Yeah. Yep.
He's surgical. He's brilliant. He knows what he wants to do. Mike Tomlin is a Chicago Bears guy. That no cap, no bullshit. He fits the mold of a head coach in Chicago. Uh, I've been saying this since the show that we brought the shit up.
Yep.
He was linked to being fired last year.
Yep.
They're not making the playoffs again this year. Mike Tomlin might be available, and if Mike Tomlin is available, he should be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Hell yes.
If it comes down to if it ever came down to him and Peyton, then you might have a discussion. But to me, it's Mike Tomlin.
Number one, Sean Payton is one of my favorite coaches in the entire league. Him and Shanahan are two of my, I put them pretty high and hold them in high regard because their offensive system works. They can plug and play guys and they can adjust to who's in those systems. And it's shown for years. Shanahan, his dad did it before him. So you're going back decades. This shit works. Terrell Davis was an undrafted free agent. They made that man a Hall of Famer in that system. And then but Tomlin, I like Tomlin. I like him as a person and as a coach. But I worry now that what I just heard you talking, is it like a John Fox situation, a retread who has had success, but all of a sudden isn't having success. You try to bring him in here to fix the culture, and it doesn't. I mean, John Fox, it didn't work. We went 3-13.
See, the only thing with that, I don't think it would be more of a coaching thing with Tomlin. To me, Tomlin has a plan, but you don't have a quarterback, and y'all haven't had the quarterback in Pittsburgh to even try to fix the shit. You come here, he has the quarterback. We all feel that Justin Fields is the guy. So the thing with Tomlin would be, who would be your offensive coordinator? Who sets up this offense? Because we know that you're going to play an integral part on the defense, and you
Yeah,
probably will
Tomlin's
bring
a
your guys
defensive
from
guy,
Pittsburgh.
right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you'll probably bring your personnel and your staff from Pittsburgh. I can care less about bringing his offensive coordinator. You can leave his ass there. Who would be the guy on the offensive side of the ball? That's the big question with Tom. That's the only thing I run into. But to me, at this point, no, I don't feel like he'd be a retread, because John Fox was stale when he got in here. We knew John Fox was stale when he was fired from his last gig. He was done.
Yeah.
I feel like Tomlin still has years of coaching, because he was young when he took over the Steelers. And like I said, you're somewhere for so long that your message becomes deaf.
Jay
So-
Cutler is not coming out of retirement to be an offensive
hell
coordinator.
no.
He enjoys his retirement far too much. I listened,
Right.
like I said,
Okay,
I listened
sitting on
to
the
him on
porch
Waddle
with
and Sylvie
goggles.
last week. The whole 90% of the conversation was they were just talking about skiing and snowboarding and what he's doing in retirement. And then like a small portion of it, they talked to him about Justin Fields, and that's when he dropped the pipe bomb. He thinks he should be just go ahead and bench him the rest of the year and let him heal. Who else do I like? Focheezy just asked.
I agree with that, AC, that I don't think they should play Fields. He doesn't need to play in this system any longer. He needs to get healthy, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm coming around more and more to the idea. I mean, I'd like to see him out there, to see him continue to learn how to read defenses and see different defenses, and learn how to call the blitz calls when they're coming in and stuff. But I mean, you don't want the kid to get hurt, and you don't know how bad the ribs are. Focheezy asked a good question. Who else do I like? I've mentioned it on here. I really like Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator from Tampa.
Yeah.
He got a head coaching job before with the Jets. That was their last winning season. And I've mentioned it before. I'm pretty sure he's learned a thing or two about offense from Arians. And we're going to have a lot of turnover on defense. His system is an aggressive defensive scheme. So you can plug young players into that system that maybe you didn't spend a high draft pick on. And as long as they can just go hit the quarterback. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that's a big reason why I'm a big fan of Todd Bowles, a Kentucky guy down there. Mike Edwards is playing safety for him, and he's done pretty dang well. I mean, he's not like but he was a late round draft pick. So that's what I'm saying. You use an aggressive system. You can plug late round draft picks or undrafted free agents into that system. And just tell them to hit the quarterback, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like Bowles too. I don't know if Bowles would you leave Tampa?
To be a head coach, to have a shot at being a head coach again, and look around what other head coaching jobs are going to be open. I think the Bears will be very. I know, Badge, you're in a bad place right now, but the Bears are an enticing head coaching position. If you look at other places that are going to be open, you got Las Vegas Raiders, where your owner is a freaking. He's running the team. And you've got maybe Jacksonville, who they're a freaking mess. You think we're a mess? Look in Jacksonville, man. They're a freaking mess. They just sent their first-round pick on a quarterback and don't know how to use him, and they're going to have another top 5 pick probably because they don't know what they're doing, and they don't know whether to keep Urban or let him go, and Urban's out here playing with girls' butts and clubs and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know what Jacksonville is doing. You think we're a mess. They're a freaking mess. And I don't know what other places are going to be open, but the Bears, we've got young talent. The owners aren't going to get in your way. You'll probably have a new general manager that you'll walk in with. And The
I think
worst
that's the
thing is
first
the
part.
cap and the draft picks.
I think the first part's the GM. GM will drop first. GM will pick a coach, and go from there. So, and I think it's going to be, depending on who they take at GM, that's going to set the guidelines for whoever they're going to take as coach. And who, I don't know. I mean, it's such a clusterfuck, though. It's like
Chris Watts said Jaguars coach knows how to party.
I mean, you literally might have to change your whole coaching staff, like all of it. You know what I mean? And
I think
I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, does Desai
if I'm a coach that if you get
Now
we lost Duke Staley to the Chargers,
Tomlin,
and he has to play well. So
if you get a Todd Bowles or a Mike Tomlin or one of those type defensive minded guys, they're going to want their guy. They're not going to keep Desai.
Yeah, and then your defensive scheme
coaching staff.
And your defensive scheme changes, and you know what I mean. There's a lot of shit.
Are we going to keep it the same? The shit ain't working.
I mean, we've kept it the same for what, the last 6 years, 7 years.
Sometimes you just got to tear it down and rip off the fucking Band-Aid. We've been in a bullshit rebuild since 2016 when we drafted Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah,
that should have been a full-on fucking rebuild. But they tried to do other things, and now we're missing draft picks. Now we're bad on salary because we didn't just rip the Band-Aid off and go full rebuild.
Yeah,
I think Aldo talked to, I don't remember what show I heard it on. Ryan Pace has had like 20 less draft picks than the Patriots or Steelers or something like that in his tenure at Chicago Bears because he's traded them away trying to win now when we didn't have the team to win now. So the next GM is going to have to come in and play and fix it.
Yeah.
If there is a next GM. I mean, if Pace,
I think there's got to be
Pace to a higher role or whatever, then he still has a say in probably some of the stuff. Possibly.
I don't know. If they move him up, I think it's more of a financial move. I think it'll be like, we saw how you did with Hallis Hall. We want you to transfer that to Arlington Heights and help with that build. Don't worry about what's going on over here. We've seen you don't know how to pick a fucking first-round pick. We've seen it. So just get your ass over there to Arlington Heights, get them to fix the fucking highway or whatever the hell they got to do, and we'll worry about this over here.
Yeah. I think we got
Chris Watts just hit it right there too. I don't want a head coach calling plays.
Yeah.
Give me a head coach that manages the game.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we were saying a few weeks ago. I don't want another guy with a play sheet in his hand. I don't want a fucking guy who sits there and decides or like, why the fuck do you pay an offensive coordinator? Why do you even name somebody an offensive coordinator if you're a head coach who calls the plays? Why? It makes zero fucking sense. Yeah, it makes zero fucking sense.
I mean, if you bring in one of these offensive coordinator guys, are they going to want to call their plays? You talk about Dabble, you talk about Greg Roman, you talk about Leftwich or Kellen Moore. He may have cooled down some because they didn't look so hot last week. But those offensive coordinator guys, are they going to be like Nagy? Are they going to want to call their plays? Are they going to be stubborn and stuck in their ways? They're not going to adjust. Yeah. That's why I would rather have a guy who has experience as a head coach. And then maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I would rather have a guy who's been there, done that, learned from his mistakes, rather than a guy like Nagy. We gave you a shot. It didn't work.
So what you're saying is Mike Tomlin.
Myself, Bobby, and KB, who we want as head coach or GM. GM wise, I know I want to avoid Louis Riddick, just because I talked about that last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. But GM, I'm not 100% on yet. Head coach, I would love Mike Tomlin, as I said. But if outside of him, NFL wise, I'm not. Maybe Brian Dabble, maybe I'm not sure Kellen Moore is ready to be in a position like that yet. I saw Clovers earlier say Ryan Day. I'm starting to get more and more on board with Ryan Day. Now, we talked about Harbaugh, last week, 2 weeks ago? And I thought 2 weeks ago, there's no fucking way this guy's leaving Michigan. But if he now goes out and wins the national championship in the college football playoff, what more does he have to prove in the college game? So, I mean, what better place for him to come than Chicago? So, I fuck, for me to sit here and try to fucking guess, who the fuck knows? But those are the guys that I would be okay with. Bobby?
Yeah, I don't even know, man. I mean, there's a lot of guys that I would like to see come in, but everybody has their, like that one. You can't. I mean, for us to try to name, I think the GM has to drop first. Like I said, I think from there, I don't want the next fucking best thing. I don't want he's from this tree. I don't give a fuck about what fucking tree you're from. Like that
Right.
shit just doesn't work out, and the selling of all that just seems. I don't know. It seems like they try to feed you something for you to buy in more to their decision. I know I don't want a guy who's calling plays. I definitely don't want that. I want a guy who's focused on the fucking game. Like, I think Nagy just kind of spurred it and ruined it for a lot of it, right? Like, there's a lot of head coaches out there that call plays. There's a lot of head coaches out there that run it, and they successfully run it. But I mean, you've seen some Leftwich talk. Leftwich has never done it without Brady. Granted, he's been number 1, number 2, number 3 throughout, him running the offense. So maybe he is a fresh mind. Maybe. I don't fucking know, man. But does he deserve a head coaching shot? And if he does deserve a head coaching shot, and we don't want him calling plays, well, that kind of fucking backfires everything he's done in the past.
Exactly.
So I mean, a lot of people are saying two things that don't equal out. Like everybody's saying they want, whatever, somebody this, that, or who has done this, but then they turn around and they're like, but I don't want him calling plays. Well, that's what he's shown to do good. So either somebody's calling his play, you're not going to get the same thing. The fucking ingredients are going to differ up.
Well, it's a little different. Nagy called plays before he came here for like 6 games, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Whereas if you bring in a guy who's called plays for a season or two and shown that it's successful, maybe that guy has a little more luck with it. I just feel like I'd rather have a guy who's been in the position before, like Tomlin or Todd Bowles.
Yeah, I'll take either of them. I don't know if Bowles to me, I don't think Bowles. I don't know. I don't think Bowles wants another head coaching job right now. And then to add in the fact that Bowles is really good friends with Nagy's dad. Bowles has known Nagy since Nagy was like fucking 7 years old. Those families are tight. And for Bowles, I think personally, Bowles is gonna not want to make that decision because now you're taking over for your friend who just got fired. Like, so I think that's. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of personal issues there with Bowles trying to take over. So I think that's going to be tough for them.
And then what the guy asked about general managers, to me, I don't know names, but I know organizations that I would like to pluck from. Organizations like Baltimore, who've shown a history of drafting well, and building a team through the draft. In organizations like, I don't want to say New England. They've shown how they can do it, but I feel like it's all Belichick up there. I mean, we've seen other teams try and do that and not do well. Maybe even Tampa Bay. I mean, they worked out. They made some good draft picks. The GOAT landed in their lap, but I mean, I feel like you got to look at organizations that have shown a history of being able to draft well and build a team through the draft, and you want to pluck from that. I know you said something about I don't want to pluck from some other tree, but I feel like that's what you've got to do to get the general manager position right.
So the general manager position, I think you kind of go back and look at scouting departments, head scouts, lead, and you kind of go through that era of guys who have been successful, and that's a lot of data. That's a lot of shit to determine, right? Like and who's had these decisions, or who's pushed for this guy, that guy, or whatever. Not just so much of who the team drafted, because who knows? We might have a guy in our scouting department right now that was like, nope, don't take Kevin White. That motherfucker is going to be a bust. You got to do this, and the team went against him. Or a guy that's, you know what I mean. So I think that's really tough to kind of determine. But there's still, I don't know. There's still got to be I just don't like the whole thinking that this guy walks on water because the fucking tree that he came from, because that seems to fail more often than not. I'm not saying I don't want a guy with experience. I'm just saying I don't want a guy because he comes from this lineage, because that seems to fail more often than not.
Yeah. I just in Baltimore is the big one for me. I mean, I know Ozzie Newsome ran the show there for years, and he retired, but they've continued to draft well after he left. So obviously they've got some good fucking scouts in their room, I guess. I don't know what word I would use there. So I feel like that's a place where we could grab a guy to come in and run the show here. Like, give somebody a chance. And I don't know names. I don't know. I guess I could Google shit, but I don't.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that I'm full. I know Badge. I don't know if he's fully against, but I wouldn't say that I'm totally against Riddick. But I don't know. I think he would bring a new mentality, a different.
I was a big fan of Riddick until Badge said what Lewis said. Basically, he had put the failures of the Bears on Justin Fields' shoulders rather than Nagy's. And Louis Riddick has shown a history of being, I guess he's friends with Nagy or something. Maybe that's his inside source to the Bears information. Yeah. So he's kind of playing nice with him so that he doesn't lose that source. I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah, but, I mean, honestly, when you're in that position, you know how many bad takes they have all the time? We have bad takes. They have bad takes. There's a lot of people.
I ain't never had a bad take.
Get pissed off and just have bad takes. So I don't know. I'm not totally against it. I think there'd be a lot of I think he relates well to a lot of the players. And I think he was definitely a change of the basic GM that you get. I don't know if he would shut the fuck up, though, or if he'd want to talk every week. Which that might be a little difficult, because then you got GM head coaches fucking battling and headbutting and shit like that. But that's just where I'm at on it.
All right, KB, man. Now, your thoughts on head coach and GM?
Head coach and GM. I'm on the lines of you know what I'm saying, picking the GM first. I'm also in the same spot as our boy AC. I don't know who the fuck you would pick. I don't know any names. Outside of Louis Riddick, I don't know. Maybe Peyton Manning. Like, who you bring in? As far as the head coach, I feel like you got to have the GM first. If they have to make a decision on what you're gonna do with Peyton. You know, move him up. But somebody has to be brought in, and whoever is brought in needs to make that personnel choice of saying, okay, I want this guy as our head coach. I need to prioritize Justin Fields' growth. And I need to find out who's going to be the best person to work with him. Head coach at this point, bro, it's playing craps. Because I start to understand what we're saying here. Hey, you want to get this dude because he's good at calling plays, but you're talking about getting a dude to be a head coach. We're all kind of burnt out on the head coaches calling plays, so you get that kind of shit show. So. At this point, anybody's fresh. So anybody that's a fresh face, fresh voice, somebody has a plan and direction they want to go in, just fucking do it and go. Hell, we can run the fucking get a defense coordinator that runs a 46 defense for all I fucking care. As long as you got an idea of what you want to do and you want to execute it. Do the shit. I don't care.
I mean, the bottom line is this: we got to have a GM that's got a plan to come in and do a full-on rebuild. There's no more plugging guys in, trying to throw a Band-Aid on a cut that needs stitches. We need to stitch the shit up and fix it. I mean, there's no other, and it might suck for a year or two or three, which I mean would make our jobs kind of hard. But we've got to rebuild. There's no other way. You're old on defense. You don't have a great salary cap. You don't have draft picks. So you've got to find a GM that's got a plan, and that's when you've got to have a good interviewing process, which is another issue possibly. Are we going to have George McCaskey and Ted Phillips hiring the next guy? I mean, they've shown a history of not being able to do it.
Big facts.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, KB's got some pipes, Don Burr. I know the man can sing because I've heard it.
No. Oh man, this shit, bro. It's all over the place, man. You want the team to do good, but then in the same aspect, we know what comes with being good. This team currently structured the way it is, there's no chance of us competing.
Well, Stephen Nagishi looks like he knows names a lot better than we do. I mean,
that's because our boy Steven he put in the manpower. What they saying in Step Brothers, we put in the manpower. We put in the research time. My boy Steve
what do you say? We put liquid paper on a bee and it died.
It died. Boy, that's what my boy Steve out here doing. Shout out to my boy Steve. But yeah, man, the way this team is currently structured, bro, it's not gonna compete. It has to be a tear down. You have to tear it down for somebody to build on top of it to make something out of it. Yeah. And it has to be whoever the new GM is going to be and the new head coach. That's what it has to be. Like you said, it's probably going to suck for a good 2 years. But with it's sucking, as long as you see growth, I think that is what matters. If you see the plan, what our favorite person in the world says, the why. What is the why? You understand? Yeah. For this scheme or this plan to come fruition.
Well, I'll attribute it back to what I was talking about earlier with Mark Stoops being hired here at Kentucky. He went in there with an interview and he told them his game plan, which apparently no one here at Kentucky had ever thought of before, which was to recruit in Ohio, bring them to Kentucky. You know, it's right freaking there, but apparently nobody thought that was a good idea to do. And it sucked for 2 years. I think we won 2 games the first year, maybe 3 or 4 the second year. And then after that, his recruiting class started to develop and come in. And the arrow's been pointing up ever since. So this dead air is really great.
Yeah,
I'm trying to read the chat here.
Sorry,
I was trying to see if Nagishi named those 3 guys, and I was trying to see if they were all from Seattle, but he hasn't answered me yet. So
I don't know, man. I do know that I have that my phone is about to die, so I'm about to tap out on this whole conversation here. But
I think it's a good time.
I think we can wrap it up.
AC is
I mean, I don't even know if it's AC's show, and he said we can wrap it up. So fuck all this.
I guess I got about 20 minutes.
I got no shout outs because I won't make it through them. I'm at like 3% battery. So everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us. And I'm going to kick it over to these guys. They can close the show out because I'm going to probably do this in a minute and then fucking be gone. So over to you guys. Bobs. Shout outs, whatever. Later, fellas.
All right, KB, let's start with you, man. Shout outs, score prediction, bold prediction, all that bullshit.
I'm not even giving a goddamn score. Fuck this game. But I will give them a shout outs for shout out. You know, whoa. You know, bold predictions. Rodney Adams has a good game. Yeah. You didn't expect that shit, did you? No. Yeah, I didn't either. Anyway, shout outs. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I love to see the bickering, man. It's funny because it kind of feels like the fan base is starting to accept Don Burr. I don't know where the hell we're at in life, but we're all cool now. It's crazy. shout out to you guys, man. Like I said, it's us getting on here and doing this shit, knowing that this team is bad. God, it's like slapping homeless people with socks. It's getting bad out here, people.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's horrible. uh, Shout out to everybody on the network, man. Like I said, we have a whole roster of shows that you can tune into. You don't have to come here and be depressed all the damn time. You can go listen to our Bull show. They're live and kicking. I'm pretty sure they're, you know what I'm saying, got strippers and party buses and alcohol. Everything's good on that side. So I'm gonna go join the dark side a little bit too. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody doing it. Shout out to everybody that still gets in here and contributes. So we love y'all. Love you boys. Right out.
All right, KB. AC, man, up to you. You got the show now, dude.
All right. First and foremost, shout out to my wife and my family. They allow me the time to come down here and talk about the fucking Bears. I mean, like Badge said, you know, we're gonna come on here. We're gonna talk about Justin Fields. We're gonna talk about firing Nagy, and we're gonna rap. That's that's all we got at this point. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody in the chat for keeping the conversation going. I know we touched on a few things that weren't Bears related. This is kind of what we're gonna have to do. I feel like probably for the rest of the year. And if y'all like it, let us know. Maybe we'll continue with little, you know, tidbits of current events like we did today with Brian Kelly going down to LSU and forming my accent, or we talked about Jay with his comments, or Carmen Yurt, you know, whatever. I like bringing up other stuff and talking about other things, and I hope y'all like it too. So just let us know what you think in the chat. My bold prediction, I think I said it earlier. I don't know if it's bold. I think Kyler Murray attributes a total of 500 plus yards between rushing and throwing, and our defense. We've got one corner, man. That's what it comes down to with me. These guys got 3 legit wide receivers, and we have one corner. He can't cover all of them. So, and my score prediction, I think Cardinals win like 42-10. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it'll be at halftime. It'll be like 35-7 or 35-0, and then they'll kind of coast in the second half and finish this out. And my only hope is that we can. I think we will. I don't think any of us is going to predict a win next week either. I think we'll win. We lose these next 2 games, and then hopefully Green Bay is the last straw for Nagy, because we're all fed up. Everyone in the chat's fed up. Everyone in the stands is fed up. Everyone in the stands at other games is fed up. You hear Fire Nagy chants at Bulls games, Illinois games, Notre Dame games, Nagy's son's game. Every chance Bears fans have gotten to discuss their displeasure, they've let them know. So bear down, fellas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do it a little different. Shout outs for me make me happy, and the Bears don't. So I'm going to do my bold prediction that probably really isn't that bold. I'm going to say that the Bears get shut out today. They score 0 points in this game today. It's probably not really a bold prediction, but I mean, they can't score more than 16, so fuck it. I'm going to say that they score 0 points. My score prediction, Cardinals 41, Bears nothing. Obviously, because I said the Bears are getting shut out. My shout outs, Chris Watts, man, dude, we got to get you on. I know we talked about it freaking last week. We got to get you on, dude. Hit me up this week on Twitter, man, and remind me, because clearly
come off for Bears Packers next week, man. That'd be a huge show, Chris.
Yeah, boy, huge win for the Packers next week, coming off a bye as well. Everybody,
yeah, how about that shit? Have y'all heard of that? Like, we had, I think, Ravens off a bye, Cardinals off a bye, Packers off a bye. Like, our schedule fucked us, on top of us not being good.
Yeah. So everybody else in the chat, man, we 150 million% appreciate you guys coming out every Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern time fucking getting on the show with us. We appreciate it greatly. Everyone at the Barroom Network, just FYI, Swag Shop is down, will be down. Probably not coming back up until we can figure some stuff out. So if you're looking for that, you can't find it. So we wanted to let you know that. I know there was an ad for it in the beginning of our intro. That's probably going to remain there. Just know you can't go to the fucking Swag Shop and just like the ad. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But anyway, AC, I'm L's down. This week I'm going to be L's up because it's going to be another loss for the Bears. And
shit.
I'm going to say Bear way the fuck down because they are not scoring points today. We appreciate everybody fucking joining us. We hope you had as good a time as we did. And if so, that's going to do it. Big fucking bear down, everybody. Have a
Bear
great time.
down.